James Gunn was just on one of my favorite podcasts, the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast, to discuss Superman. Here are some of the things we learned from this interview, but do make sure you guys check out the full interview. It is well worth your time. First of all, he sat down with Henry Cavill to break the news about the recasting. There was a lot of confusion at the WB and DC at the time, and when Cavill was at the end of Black Adam and even had announced on his own Instagram, like, I'm back, James Gunn was at the time working on a script without Henry Cavill in it. So he felt like he needed to sit down with him, so he and Peter did, and he says that Henry Cavill was a complete, gentleman about this, and even said that the DCU is open for Henry coming back. Now, Henry is very busy right now. That's definitely not going to happen anytime soon, but it's nice to see that there was a bit of a classy move towards this whole recasting thing. Gunn admits that switching up how the score works in this movie from his previous movies was very difficult. He uses these mic drop poppy songs that kind of sometimes come out of nowhere and just completely make the film. Guardians of the Galaxy 1, 2, and 3, right? But for this one, he had to lean more on an actual score. He dropped a couple songs here and there, but mostly on a score, and it was very difficult for him to do this, but he trusts the process, and the score was actually being worked on even while the drafts were still coming in for the script, so it was a very long process. One of my favorite things from this interview was when he reveals that David Corenswet and him had a bit of a back and forth over the Superman speech. David wasn't quite getting it, the motivations behind it, and it came down to David and James having a heart-to-heart saying, no, you have to feel this moment. It's here in your chest. And he goes over really well. Again, listen to this total interview. But at that moment, David went out and James learned something about that. He says that David's idea was good, my idea was better, but when we collaborated and worked all together on the same page, it was the best. He even mentions that David Corenswet is more of a actor's actor, like he studied acting, and his previous stars, he says John Cena and Chris Pratt were just like, boom, I'll go. And so it took him a little bit to get used to somebody who is like a trained actor in that way. Another fun bit, the movie was actually going to be about crypto. It was going to be about a crypto movie with Superman in the background, and obviously that wasn't going to last long. That was very early ideas phase, not anything that made it to a script at all. The opening crawl actually came out after screenings. So they did the screenings of the Superman and people were confused, which I mean, I don't think I would be, but some people were confused. So he thought, you know what? Star Wars is more confusing than Superman is. So let's add a crawl to Superman. And he felt like it really just made and set the tone for this world and explained that this is an alternate history, not our history. It's not New York and Los Angeles. It's Gotham and Metropolis. I can go on, but the main thing I want you guys to take away from this is that you should check out this interview. It's fantastic. Again, it's the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast with Josh Horowitz. It's completely worth your time. And make sure you watch Superman too. I've already watched it twice and I'm ready to watch it again. All right, everybody, have a great week.